Welcome all viewers. This is Be You Unique. You have to learn like yourself, improve like yourself, or you have to improve. So be you because you are unique. You have been created with your own personality. No one else like you in this world. So learn like yourself. The topic you are going to talk about is climate change and our future. What Bible says about this? Climate change and our future. Climate change impacts are distributed to all of us. It means we meet climate change everywhere we are in this planet called Earth. So, what about the end of these problems from climate change? What about our future about this climate change? What does the Bible say? That is what we are going to talk about in this topic. Climate change is here on the earth, and the earth is already becoming unlivable because the climate change or the climate disaster is here. That's the word from The Guardian. The Guardian is a journal which is known all over the world. So here mankind faces a crisis of its own making. Most scientists agree that human activity is responsible for global warming. This rise in temperature has already changed the climate and brought disastrous consequences. Includes more frequent and intense weather events such as heat waves, droughts, and storms, which in turn cause more floods and wildfires. Another is the melting glaciers and Arctic ice. Another one is rising sea levels. These are the consequences of rise in temperature on this world. The climate crisis has affected every corner of the earth. After documenting conditions in 193 countries, a journal called the New York Times report stated the planet is sending a net SOS because of the death and suffering climate change has caused the World Health Organization has called it the single biggest health threat facing humanity. Because of the death and suffering climate change has caused the World Health Organization has called it the single biggest health threat facing humanity. However, we have reason to look to the future with hope. The Bible foretold the events that we see happening today, as well as why we can expect God to act and what He will do to protect our future. But the first question before taking a look about future. Does climate change fulfill Bible prophecy? Simple response to this is yes. Yes. Climate change fulfill Bible prophecy. The climate crisis caused by global warming fits events the Bible foretold for times. Let's take an example. In Revelation chapter 11 verse 18, Bible says, God will destroy those who are destroying the earth. So, God will destroy those who are destroying the earth because they live. So, this means that there are people who are destroying the earth, and those people will be destroyed by the God. Simple. So this means the Bible foretold the time when human actions would bring the earth to the brink of ruin. As a result of global warming, people today are ruining the planet on an unprecedented scale. People today are ruining the planet on an unprecedented scale. This prophecy indicates one reason why we can not expect humans to save the earth. Not that God will step in while people are destroying the earth. Whatever progress or intention people make the fight against climate change, it will not be enough to keep mankind from ruining the earth. The second prophecy we can find it in Luke 21 verse 11. Bible says, there will be fearful sights. The Bible foretold that a fearful sight or terrifying event would occur in our day. Climate change has generated terrifying weather events around the globe. Today, some people suffer from eco-anxiety, a chronic fear of environmental ruin. Another prophecy is 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1 to 4. Last days, critical times hard to deal with will be here. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, disloyal, not open to any agreement, betrayers, handstrong. So here, Bible foretold the traits and behavior that have created the climate crisis. Governments and businesses put economic interests first and betray the interest of future generations. Even when they attempt to work together, they cannot agree on the steps needed to stop global warming. So this prophecy indicates that we should not expect that people in general will change their actions and protect the earth. Rather, the Bible states that people displaying selfish qualities would advance from bad to worse, as it is written in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 13. Those are prophecies from the Bible noted that the climate change will be here in our days. But the question is this one. Even if climate change is fulfilling Bible prophecy, why can we be certain that God will act? The Bible reveals that God, our Creator, is committed to our planet and those who inhabited it. Consider just for 3 Bible verses and you will be sure that God will act on this serious problem of climate change and the future of humankind. In Isaiah chapter 45 verse 18, Bible says, God did not create the earth simply for nothing, but formed it to be inhabited. So God will accomplish his promise for the earth as it is being written in Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11. He will not let it be destroyed or become uninhabitable. The second verse, Psalm 37 verse 11 and 29. The meek will possess the earth, and they will find exquisite delight in the abundance of peace. The righteous will possess the earth, and they will live forever in it. So God promises that humans will live on the earth forever under peaceful conditions. In other verse, Proverbs chapter 2 verse 22, Bible says, as for the wicked, they will be cut off from the earth. So God promises to remove those who persist in wickedness, including those who ruin the earth. So those 3 verses emphasized about how God know, how God see the earth and those inhabited on earth. He created it not simply for nothing, but formed it to be inhabited. And the righteousness will possess the earth because of God. And those wicked will be cut off. So we can be sure that God will do something about our earth. So what God will do for our future? Uh, how God will fulfill His promises for earth? He will also do this by means of a worldwide government known as God's kingdom, as it is being written in Matthew chapter 6, verse 10. That kingdom will rule from heaven. It will not have to negotiate with human governments on issues involving the earth and its environment. Rather, God's kingdom will replace human governments. This is right in Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. So the God's kingdom is a good news for humankind, all humankind, all mankind, and for natural world. This will do this by doing this. Uh, in Isaiah chapter 35, verse 1, the wilderness and parched land will exult, and the desert plain will be joyful in blossom as the saffron. This means God will restore the environment. God will heal the planet, even places that have been severely damaged by humans. Another way, in Psalm chapter 107, verse 29, Bible says, Jehovah calms the windstorm, the waves of sea grow quiet. This means God will control extreme weather. God has the power to control the elements. People will no longer suffer from extreme weather. Another way He will do this, in Psalm 32 verse 8, Bible says, I will give you insight and instruct you in the way you should go. This means God will teach good stewardship on the work of the earth. God has gave humans the responsibility to care for the earth. So He will teach us how best to fulfill this role as good stewards of His creation, living in harmony with nature. So that is the way God will do anything possible to save our planet by resolving the problem of climate change that impacts our future. So let's make a small review. Climate change is fulfilling the prophecy of the Bible. But remember what we have seen. What we have seen is this one. People cannot protect the earth, cannot resolve the question of climate change and the future, because they are putting in front of them economic interest. So He cannot save the earth. They are in economic interest. So, but we can be sure that God is here for our future. As Bible says in different verses that we have seen, this earth has been created not only for creation, but also to be inhabited planet. So God will do all those things by restoring the environment, by controlling extreme weather, by teaching good stewardship of the earth. God will do all those things to solve a serious problem about climate change and the future. So thank you so much for coming, and I hope you have understood what we were talking about. This is Be You Unique. Keep being blessed.